A cordial greeting. Today is Thursday, September 26, 2024. At the time of recording this video, it is 7 a.m. local time in Florida, where the indirect effects of Hurricane Helene are already starting to be felt. The hurricane is heading toward parts of Florida's Big Bend, where it is projected to make landfall as a Category 3 hurricane. It will eventually move over parts of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee. Currently, Hurricane Helene has maximum sustained winds of 90 miles per hour, so it is close to becoming a Category 2 hurricane. It is expected to continue intensifying today before making landfall over Florida's Big Bend later tonight, Thursday. In the infrared satellite image, we can see how this hurricane continues to show signs of organization. However, the intensification process has been a bit slower than projected in yesterday's forecast, which had initially predicted that it could become a Category 4 hurricane. The most important change is that it is now projected to make landfall as a Category 3 hurricane, with maximum sustained winds of approximately 115 miles per hour. Nevertheless, this represents little changes to the forecast, as extreme winds that could cause significant damage in northern Florida and southern Georgia are still expected. In the following animation, we can see the Doppler radar image, showing how rain is already affecting many areas of Florida, especially Georgia. Rain will continue throughout the day, with excessive rainfall particularly affecting northern Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Remember that Hurricane Helene's circulation is very extensive, meaning tropical storm conditions will be felt throughout the entire Florida peninsula, even though the center of circulation is expected to enter over Florida's Big Bend. Also, remember that there is a risk of tornadoes developing over the Florida peninsula today, so it is important to stay in a safe place over the next 24 hours. Overall, the trajectory models continue projecting a north-northeast movement, with the center reaching Florida's Big Bend or the Panhandle region tonight, and then moving over Georgia on Friday. The intensity models still project further intensification over the next 12 to 18 hours, with the hurricane expected to reach Category 3 strength. Here, we have the official bulletin from the National Hurricane Center. In yellow, we can see the extent of tropical storm force winds, already nearing parts of southwest Florida and continuing over much of western Cuba, where some tropical storm force wind gusts are still being reported. In blue, we can see the active tropical storm warnings for parts of western Cuba, all of Florida, and central northern Georgia, as well as the entire state of South Carolina and parts of western North Carolina. In red, we can see the counties under hurricane warnings, which include parts of northern Florida, the Big Bend, and southern and southwestern Georgia. In this animation, you can see the Doppler radar projection for the next 36 hours. Notice how the center of circulation will move parallel to Florida's west coast, bringing heavy downpours, especially to northern Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, eastern Tennessee, and western North Carolina. Here are the projected rainfall totals, with areas in yellow, orange, and red showing potential accumulations of 4 to 10 inches. The highest risk of flooding is in Florida's Panhandle, much of central northern Georgia, and western North Carolina and South Carolina. Now, let's look at the wind gust projections according to the American model. As the center of circulation approaches Florida, we can see in orange and red some tropical storm force winds affecting central to southern Florida, with hurricane force gusts possibly impacting northern Florida and southern Georgia. These winds will affect Florida over the next 24 hours and into early Friday morning, as the center of circulation moves further north, crossing over Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Notice how tropical storm force winds will affect all of Georgia, South Carolina, and parts of western North Carolina, and these winds may even be felt as far north as Kentucky and West Virginia. Lastly, don't forget about the coastal flooding expected today and tonight along Florida's west coast, including Tampa and surrounding areas, where storm surge is expected to reach between 5 to 8 feet above average sea levels. In Florida's Big Bend, storm surge could reach between 15 to 20 feet above average, so if you live along the coast, especially in Florida's Big Bend, you should evacuate to a safe place this morning. Well, that's all for this video. I hope our followers in the southeastern United States, particularly in northern Florida and southern Georgia, are prepared and in a safe place to face the approaching hurricane conditions. Stay tuned to Hurricane Info this afternoon, where I will be recording another video to keep you informed about this event. And so that you don't miss this video and others I will be recording, I invite you to check if you're subscribed to my channel, and don't forget to click the bell to receive notifications when I upload new videos. Well, that's all for now. See you in the next video.